Hello and welcome to level 2 of Level Up Your Brioche. In this video we're going to be working on the Windrow cowl. We're going to look at a few things specifically, our left leaning and right leaning cable decreases. We're going to learn how to do a 2-stitch brioche increase. And I've also made some supplemental videos to help you with the long tail cast on, which is a great stretchy cast on for this project as well as many other projects. And I've made a video just with some of my personal tips on how to work with charts. So get your yarn and needles ready and let's get started. So let's get casting on here. For this project, Bristol has recommended the long tail cast on. So we're going to cast on our stitches as outlined in the pattern. And I've actually done a supplementary how-to video on the long tail cast on, which you're welcome to avail yourself of. And I'm just doing a few slow-mo moves here to remind you, if you haven't done it in a while, how to do the cast on. So I'm using the slingshot method right now, and the reason why we're doing long tail cast on for this project is because it has a really stretchy, stable edge, and because brioche fabric is so stretchy, it's important to have a cast on that matches that. Alright, so after we've got all of our stitches cast on, we're going to still knit flat and do a setup row on the wrong side. So we're going to knit and then slip one yarn over all the way across. So knit, slip one yarn over, and that's just getting set up for our brioche. And then once we get all the way across with that, we're going to move over to the right side, and then you're going to knit one row of brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and then we're going to get ready to join in the round. So right now I'm just getting all of my stitches set up. I've done my setup row, I've done my one row of brioche knit, slip one yarn over. I'm making sure there's no twists or anything in my yarn before I connect it to join in the round, because we don't want to accidentally make a Mobius cowl. So the way I chose to join is I just crossed the first and last stitches. I'm not casting anything off here, I just crisscrossed them. And I found that that made a nice stable join. So now we're going to put our beginning of the round marker. So add your second color if desired here, if you're using two colors for this first row, which is going to be slip one yarn over, brioche pearl. If you're not using two colors, then you can just continue on with the same color. So now we're just going to keep alternating our two colors in the brioche rib, and we're going to get into the chart as directed, and the next part of this video is going to show you how to do the various moves that are outlined in the chart. This next move is a brioche increase, brioche yarn over brioche. So we start by brioching into the stitch, we add a yarn over, and then brioche knit into the stitch again, before then slipping it to the right hand needle. And you can see it makes kind of a little claw-like stitch here. So that's how you knew if you did it correctly. It looks like a little paw. And as we move further into the chart, we're doing the cabled decrease left. So I'm just getting set up. I've knit all the way over to the spot where I'm going to do my decrease. We grab our cable needle, we slip it into that stitch, and hold it in the front of our work. Now we're going to slip the next stitch purlwise. We put our stitch back on the left hand needle off of the cable needle. And now we're going to SSK. So you just got to make sure that you do not drop that yarn over on the stitch before your cable decrease. See how my yarn's in the front? So this is how I like to do my SSK, but you're welcome to do whatever way works for you on the next 2 stitches. There we go. So now you can see we've decreased and created a left leaning cable. So now we're going to work the brioche purl around following our left leaning cable round. So you just work through as normal. When you reach your little claw here where you added 2 stitches, you do the first stitch as a slip 1 yarn over, you purl into the second stitch, and then you do another slip 1 yarn over, and then you just continue on with your brioche rib. So we're going to work our way across here until I reach the point where I did my left leaning cable decreases, because we're going to have an extra purl stitch there that we're going to need to take care of. Okay, so we've arrived at our extra purl stitch here. So what we have to do here is a slip slip purl. So I'm going to slip this one and the next one purl-wise, or knit-wise, sorry, and then slip them each back to the left-hand needle, but slip them so that you maintain that reorientation that you got by slipping them knit-wise. And then we're going to purl them both through the back loop. And that'll give you a left-leaning purl decrease and get rid of that extra little purl that you had from your cable decrease. And then we just continue on with the slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, and so on. Okay, so now we're going to do the right cable decrease. So we start by slipping the first stitch purlwise. Then we add that second purl stitch there on the needle onto our cable needle and hold it in the back. We put the stitch that we just slipped purlwise back onto our left-hand needle. And then we knit the next 2 stitches on the left-hand needle together so that we're decreasing. Now we take that stitch that's hanging in the back on our cable needle and we just slide that back onto the right-hand needle. Then we continue with our slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit. So on the next row, we're working our brioche purl row. So we continue across like usual, alternating our brioche purls and slip one yarn over until we reach the spot where we did that right leaning cable decrease, and we're going to eliminate that extra purl stitch that we've got there. Okay, so we've reached our cable decrease there, so slip one yarn over, and now all we're going to do to do a right leaning is to purl these two together. That's a little bit simpler than the left leaning, and that's all there is to it. So we've got rid of that extra purl stitch, and then we just continue on across our row until we've reached the spot where we did the increase. So there's our little claw from the increase, and we'll do a slip one yarn over, purl, and slip one yarn over to integrate that back into our pattern. Okay, so you just continue along with your chart for 2 full repeats of the chart. Then you've got a few more rows of the just plain brioche rib left just to even it out with the beginning. And then we just cast off all of our stitches loosely. If you find that you have difficulty casting off loosely and making a stretchy edge, you can always increase your needle size to make that a little bit easier. Then voila, you have your finished Windrow cowl. This is my guy. It turned out pretty good, if I may say so myself. I really love the effect that you get with the 2 colors. So this is my right side, but it also looks equally good on the wrong side, which is one of the benefits of brioche, that it's completely double-sided, so you can kind of switch your cowl inside out or right side out depending on your mood or your outfit. And thus concludes level 2 of Level Up Your Brioche. I hope you'll join us for level 3, that you've still got some steam left in your brioche engine, and we're going to be working on Andrea Mowry's Ramble Shawl for the next stage. Thanks so much, and I hope you'll join us again.